to press the button.
So you have to start again?
Yes. Okay, you could definitely tell that we haven't done this in 7 months because we thought we were live for the past 15 minutes and we actually didn't hit the live button. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. And everyone's thinking like, oh my God, yeah, like where are they?
Yeah, they're running so late.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, there's a button on the laptop that says start stream or go live, and I never bloody pressed it.
I kept looking at viewer waiting, whoever you are, thank you for your patience. And I was like, why is that not changing to viewers or like people in the channel? I don't know.
Oh gosh, yeah, what a pain. Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, right, so we're gonna have to redo everything that we just did over the last 15 minutes. Okay, so today's show. We haven't, like I kind of mentioned, we haven't been live in 7 months, is what the wifey kind of found out earlier.
Dear.
So we're not sure if this is going to be a regular thing or if this is going to be a one-off. We don't know yet. If we're going to do this more regularly, then we're going to have a new banners, because the old banner is kind of redundant now, because it says every Thursday at 6 o'clock, and we haven't been live on Thursdays for
7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. So that's kind of redundant now, but. We'll see. We'll see if that's something that we want to do in future. But today we're going to be discussing the channel's performance over the last 12 months, how it compared to 2022, and then we're going to do a Q&A as well. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you.
Is it our
Let's have a look. Is there is the stream looking all right?
We haven't done it in this room before, have we?
No, we haven't. To be fair, the lighting isn't great in here.
No, so
yeah, I don't know. It should be. We're looking okay here, and everything's looking all right according to the stream data. So hopefully we're okay. But yeah, so once we've had a look at the channel's performance over the last 12 months, then we're gonna have a little bit of a Q&A. Yeah. And the wifey's got some questions for me as well. And feel free to fire away any questions that you might have. But I think just whilst we're here, this is going to be the last video of 2022.
2023.
I keep saying 2022. Sorry, I got it on the brain. 2023. So there's going to be no video tomorrow, but we will be back. Oh, God, I haven't actually looked at the calendar. When are we back? Shall we say Wednesday, 3rd of January? We should be back. So, because, I mean, the thing is, I don't know if it's just for motorcycle content as a whole, but it doesn't seem like advertisers, they pay as well over winter for our channel, which is usually the other way around. Usually advertisers are paying over the odds for advertising during the Christmas period. So yeah, there's not a lot of motivation for us to keep rolling out videos if one, people aren't going to watch them, and two, if there's no incentive to do it, if you know what I mean.
But also, I think we need a break. It's been one heck of a 2023 for us for various reasons, and we just need to stop.
There is that.
And for one, I think appreciate what we've done this year, but also be able to plan next year so we can perform our best. Because now you've got your channel, obviously I've got my own channel.
Mm-hmm.
The dog's got his own Instagram. We're kind of spread quite thin, so.
Hey, how we doing? Yeah, Dogstyle Gaming, good to see you. Steve, how you doing? Mark, good to see you.
OGs are back.
Yeah, OG faces from the good old days. Yeah, gosh, good to see you guys. I'm glad you could make it, and thank you, because I know that Christmas is literally round the corner now, and people are probably doing last minute Christmas shopping. So we really didn't know how well this show was going to do today. I didn't think it was going to get any viewers whatsoever. So thank you everyone for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it does mean a lot.
Okay, so yeah, as we kind of mentioned, different environment, different room. The old live show studio is been converted now into like a presentation studio, and it's got a green screen in there now, and Monday's video, I shot that in front of the green screen for the first time. Not the best result, I don't think, but I really wanted to get that video out quickly because we only had a week before basically Christmas, and people wouldn't have had enough time to buy these gloves if they wanted to. Which, by the way, I bought those gloves myself. I didn't. They weren't sent to me or anything. So they're my God's honest review of those gloves.
Yeah, and you weren't being paid to say nice things.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, so I hope to use that green screen more in the following year and years to come, if I can get the results a little bit better, because it was picking up shadows in places that it shouldn't have been.
But for a first attempt, it wasn't horrific.
No,
and we've done photos in front of it as well before, which worked out quite well.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how that goes. It's an experiment. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if it's any good or not. But alrighty. So have I mentioned already what we're going to do today in on the live show? Have I mentioned it already? Because we did this all before 15 minutes ago.
You might have said it in the first attempt.
And I can't remember if I've said it again. I'll say it again for any of you new viewers that have just joined us, just in case. So today we're going to be going through the channel's performance over the last 12 months, seeing where we're at, because I want to be honest with you guys, and I don't want any secrets, because what's the point?
Yeah.
And the idea is, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and the idea is that if we can incentivize more people to join this not community, that's not what I'm trying to say, but join this kind of platform to show how much we love the hobby, how passionate we are about the hobby, and getting more people involved in the hobby. If we can provide you with some kind of incentives, then it gets the word out more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the whole idea behind this, is just to be upfront with you, see where we're at, and hopefully incentivize some of our viewers to do the same thing.
And I think a little teaser is that we're talking about videos we're going to do together next year. As well.
Have we? I can't remember. There's been quite a lot going on this past few weeks, so
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what did you want to talk about? That what the ideas were in the show, or did you want to leave it as a surprise or something?
Let's have a think. No, I think we'll do a little teaser of it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Just because I think it's something that people have asked for.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So once we've discussed the channel's performance, then we're going to have a Q&A where, just ask us questions and we'll do our best to answer them. And then we'll kind of see how we go. Really, there's no set topic today.
No.
There's no set kind of discussion topic. It's just
a chill video, really.
Yeah. It's going to be not serious, and it's going to be nice and chill. Yeah. I think.
I do wonder how many people were like, "What is going on?" when you mentioned we're going to be doing a live show again, because we just kind of stopped, didn't we? We didn't. Do any more.
So I did kind of say in a shoot that why we stopped doing the live shows, and a lot of it was because of my grandma dying, and there was a few other things going on. Because believe it or not, doing this live is really difficult. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of prep, and you make one mistake, and the whole show is shot. And then the thing is, live on YouTube, live doesn't go very well either on YouTube. It doesn't have the reach that I kind of hope it would. So again, there's not. It's difficult to motivate yourself sometimes to go live if it's. Because the amount of effort that you put into it, the amount of time you put into it, and then the payoff that you get. And the thing is as well, we don't really do this for ourselves anyway. It's always been that kind of idea where we do this for you guys. We do this for people who want to say hello and get to know us a little bit better. And, it's slightly more personal, isn't it? It's a bit more intimate, if you like, because we are doing this right now.
There's no editing in this. There's no...
No,
take my best angle.
No,
it's just what you see.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of just raw. Just it is as it is, kind of thing. But doing the live shows are difficult. So I did kind of mention that. But that was a long time ago, though.
It was a long time ago. I think
that was probably in July, something like that. When I mentioned that, I can't remember, but Anyway. Shall we crack on with what we originally had planned for today's show? Right, take two. Okie dokie. So another thing that we've realised as well is I haven't been able to get that camera working yet whilst on the other screen. So if for some reason I had a lot of trouble getting this set up earlier for some reason, but anyway, a lot of you are probably going to be familiar with Social Blade. So this is a platform where you can basically snoop on YouTube channels. And so far we are on 8.68k subscribers. But one of the most one of the best metrics for me actually are the subscribers here. So this time last year, where are we? 18th of December, we were on 3,740 subscribers, and now we're on
8,000.
the better part of 9k.
Yeah.
9k. I was hoping that
8,686.
we could get to 9k before the end of the year, but it's not going to happen. We haven't got enough time now.
Yeah.
So it's annoying, but it is what it is. But also as well, one other metric that I was very pleased with, and I've only found this out recently, is 2 million views on the channel.
That people want to listen to you for 2,000 or 2 million.
2,000,000.
Yeah.
2,000 times. Yeah, I know. That is insane. Nearly 2.1 million views. So yeah, very shocking and quite humbling, I think. And we're kind of averaging about 100k views a month. A lot of that is on the shorts. Shorts have been doing really well, so we're going to keep that up going into the new year. TikTok's been doing quite well as well. I haven't uploaded lots to TikTok yet.
We're really new to TikTok though. TikTok was something we only picked up literally last month or the month before.
Yeah.
But I think what's crazy is that you think, oh, the Mozart community is so small and it's like whatever, but then all of a sudden you're getting how many views on a video on TikTok? You're getting hundreds of views.
Oh, tens of thousands on some of them, yeah.
Yeah, and you're suddenly getting all these followers which is amazing. It's such a good platform, and it's so current and it's so trendy.
Yeah,
right
it's a good platform for reach. So TikTok itself isn't a good platform. It's not a great platform because you don't earn anything from it. It's just influencing, and it's not about the people on the platform.
No,
it's more about TikTok as a company. Is it? I can't remember what the head company is of TikTok, but it's not very good for the creators, TikTok. Whereas YouTube is very creator friendly, and using them both in parallel works really well.
I do feel for content creators because you have to be on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Well, Instagram isn't that great either. We hit like 600 followers on Instagram, and it just plateaued, and we've hardly had any followers since on Instagram. On Facebook has done a little bit better, but we've only started Facebook like a few months ago.
Out of like everyone who's ever seen a computer in their life, the minority of people use every single platform all at once unless you're a creator. So you have to try and reach out to those who only use TikTok, those who only use YouTube, those who only use Instagram or Facebook.
That's right.
So all of a sudden you're posting the same thing 4 times.
Because we did try, well, that's exactly what we do. Because that's what you have to do. But that's kind of like the thing, is that we tried posting videos to Instagram because I wanted to see if videos did as well on Instagram as they would do on TikTok, and no way.
But you've got to do the experiment to find out, haven't you?
Yeah. But that's the thing. If you're not constantly getting followers and you're not constantly building your community on these social media platforms, it kind of diminishes your motivation, your incentive to keep using those platforms to some extent.
I think at the same time, and this is something that I've seen happen on a couple of YouTube channels, where they only focus on getting people. They don't focus on retaining their OG subscribers, and their content then isn't as enjoyable because actually they're just numbers. They're just number chasing at that point. They're not thinking, right, let's do good content which is going to get people.
Yeah, that's always been Mr. Beast's attitude, isn't it? Do you know Mr. Beast?
I don't live under a rock. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the biggest social media personalities ever, and his attitude is, well, you don't create a video and look at the performance and think, oh, the algorithm did me bad. You think, well, swap the word algorithm with audience, and then it kind of changes your perspective. Because as much as a lot of this does come down to numbers and data, because you can learn a lot from numbers and data. Like if there's a certain video that has done really well, then you want to try and replicate that same format if you can, and then that should get you more views, and that's how your channel grows.
But I think when
you're trying to find trends basically in your data.
I think when you're a little bit more realistic, and you haven't been born with a silver spoon up your bum, then you have to focus on the content. You can't just fall back on, I'm going to put a guy in a supermarket, give him £10,000 for every day he stays in it.
That's that's
it's,
one of the hardest
it is
things.
Different.
One of the hardest things that I knew this from the start, but the difficulty is how hard to actually break out on a platform like YouTube.
Yeah.
We are a tiny channel.
Yeah, you are.
Tiny weeny channel, and we're nowhere near where we would need to be if we wanted to do this full time. Nowhere near. And at the current rate of growth, we're looking at maybe 5 or 6 years
to be able to do this 100. Well, both of us full time, or just you?
Me?
Just you, yeah.
Just me to do this full time. We're looking at 5 years. So I mean, the channel's been living since March 2021. We're now in December 2023. How many years is that? That's what it'll be 3 years, won't it? In March next year.
Easy.
So we're looking at least another couple of years after that, maybe even another year to make this full time. But that's the thing. YouTube works in really funny ways. You might get a video or two that just
goes viral.
You totally hit it out of the park, and you all of a sudden you are living off of social media.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't really want that happening. I don't want to have one massively viral video and then all of a sudden be there. I want to work my way towards it, because then that you're creating content that people want to watch on a regular basis, rather than you're building a platform, a good foundation, rather than having one storming video or two storming videos that get millions of views. That's not really the kind of platform that I want.
Yeah.
They do certainly help, but I prefer to have consistency over that. I don't know, maybe that's a naive point of view, I don't know, but I don't know, it just feels right to do it that way.
Yeah.
One other metric that we will discuss is the earnings of 2023.
We're not keeping anything back in this video.
Well, I think it's
to a degree.
There are lots of creators that don't like sharing this stuff, but again, it's a case of, it's a platform that does incentivize you to create better content, to do better for your audience, and it rewards you for it. So it's certainly worth looking at, especially if you're a younger person and you've got some time to kill. It's definitely worth looking at. And if it's around motorcycles, doesn't matter. If it's around something that you're passionate about, then why not spread the joy of that hobby to as many people as possible? And that's basically what we do. We're just a channel that dicks around on motorcycles, pretty much. But there's passion behind it. There's
purpose. It's not like we're just like being absolute tools and then not. I don't know. It's like the video where I picked up your bike. You said anyone can do it. I proved you were wrong.
Yeah,
I could not do it.
And I mean, well, we're working on that. Because I still think you can do that. I think it was just a case of, you haven't done it before. That's the first time you did it, and we can build your way up to lifting that bike up off the ground.
Next, I'm going to be
most of it is technique.
Yeah,
most of it is technique.
And we have an agreement, don't we, that now I've ridden the ZX9R, I can ride the ZZR. Wasn't that what you said? I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking.
No, I want you to.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I think everyone would love to see that.
We'll talk about that when we've done the analytics bit, because I have a few comments. I don't really think I've expressed much on how I felt on that bike, really, apart from the initial reaction. Yeah,
well, I mean, there was a lot to take in, wasn't there? for you.
Yes, there was a lot.
So yeah, I appreciate that. No, I think
we'll
doing
come
more
back to
sessions on the ZX9 with you, I think, would be a really good idea. Just because then now you know what it feels like. You can kind of process a little bit more the experience and why big bikes aren't as scary as people think they are.
Yeah, I mean, let's finish this because I've got a few things actually I want to say about
that. So one of the things that I wanted to have a look is because like I kind of mentioned earlier, you can use Social Blade to snoop on channels, and I did want to see because I'm sure I've seen this somewhere in here about the earnings.
Is that not there?
Where?
The page you're on. Scroll down. Look on the right hand side. Estimated earnings.
Oh, hang on.
What are you doing?
Sorry, it's an advert. It's not me, I swear. Okay, here we go. So this gives you just a little breakdown of the everything, pretty much the earnings, the views. You okay?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Country rank. We're 2,655th in country rank.
That's in the UK.
Oh, in the UK.
So
I thought it was saying
YouTube channels in the UK.
That's where we sit.
That's where we are.
That's not bad. Is that in autos or just in general?
So country rank and that in autos.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought it was saying that the UK, but I was like, it's not even that many countries, isn't it?
No, there isn't. So
wow, it's been a while, guys.
Yeah, so about 100k views every month. The subscribers have gone down, over this last month, but I think that is kind of like what happens in December. Again, I can't remember if I said this already, if I said this in the first take that we had, but we weren't actually live.
Apologies for repeating ourselves.
Apologies if I'm repeating myself. But there's not a lot of incentive to release content in December because I think it's just like a thing where with motorcyclists, because of course it's not really the riding season anymore. People aren't as interested in motorcycles during the winter. So I think that's where kind of like that's where the impact is coming from. And then as you get into the spring and summer, that's when viewers just shoot up. That's when subscribers shoot up. Everything goes up. So, but okay. So what do you think about this figure here? £18 to £290 estimated monthly earnings. What do you think of that?
I have no opinion.
No?
Because I don't really get involved in that side of it.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't see.
I won't show you. It's just on my phone, but I'll tell you kind of how accurate that is. For one, so revenue. We are looking at December, aren't we? So we'll go back to November just because we've got a full month's earnings of November.
Right.
So November we earned £281.96. So it's pretty close.
Then the top end.
But we do not earn anywhere near £18 a month.
No.
It is significantly more than that consistently every month. For the whole of this year, we have been earning well over £200 a month every month for pretty much the entire year. I think January was the only month where we earned less than £200 that month.
And just to be clear, we're not sharing this because we're like, guys, look how much we're making.
No.
We don't do this for the money. We do it because we're fortunate to be in a position where we can do it and we want to share the passion, but we're just being transparent with actually what's really happening behind the scenes, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, when we say things like we've brought the ZX9,
it's coming from these earnings.
It's coming from this.
And every penny that we make goes back into equipment or video ideas or something. We put the money back into the channel. I don't take any of it.
We don't know.
Literally don't take any of it.
We don't do this for like profit and stuff.
Well, you can't say that because you do this for profit.
I don't mean like personal profit. Like we don't
take
money from it.
We want because that's the only way you can make it into a career. You know, by doing this, if you can do this and make a living off of it, then you are, strictly speaking, taking a profit out of it. But anyway, so for 2023, our whole earnings for the year were £3,500.
Oh, that's a nice little chunk, isn't
it? For the whole year. And yeah, that's what it was. I mean, that's like that's more than the bonus I earned this year for work.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Because my bonuses aren't very good, but they're better than some, because most people don't even get a bonus, so I can't really complain.
Yeah.
But even if you work just a regular old job, earning £3,500 on top of that at the end of the year,
you can't complain.
That is fantastic. So I'd honestly recommend anyone who's got a little bit of extra time in the week, you're looking to do a side hustle, give this a go, because you don't really need that much to do it right. You do, if you want to keep developing it and keep making it better, then arguably you need to invest in it a little bit. But at the same time, hang on, because we're still on the on that screen there. But what was I saying? You can do a lot with not a lot, if you know what I mean. You know, you can build up a social media presence easily, because we're all carrying around phones these days. You can shoot a video on your phone that is really damn good compared to, you know, camcorders and SLRs and things like that. So it's, honestly, I recommend giving it a go. And we're all motorcycle enthusiasts here, so it would be nice if you did content around motorcycles. However, that's just from our point of view, because that's what we do, and it helps with the community, and it helps with just spreading awareness of the joy that motorcycles can bring to people.
And I think as well, and I'm going to do that old stupid thing that they say to you, if you're thinking of a question, someone else is thinking it too. If you're looking online, there's a video. If you're looking online for a video and you can't find it, someone else is probably thinking, I wish there's a video out about this as well. So it's worth filming it, and if it gets 18 likes or views, it's got 18 views. 18 people have found it, and that's the basis that you need, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's hard.
It is hard.
Doing this is hard. It takes a lot of effort, but you don't have to do what we do. We produce content more frequently, but probably not as good as we could make it. I mean, we've spent like weeks and weeks on one video, and it turns out really well, but it doesn't necessarily get the views. And then you spend less than half the time on one video, and it gets so many more views, and it's so much more. It's spread a lot more to people. It's had a much bigger reach. So it is a bit of a gamble. But the thing is with this, you're only gambling your time.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
You're
only gambling time.
If you've got the confidence to put yourself online, then it's just time.
Even if you don't, there are so many channels that are just narrated.
Yeah.
So many channels where you don't see the presenter's face on camera. They're all just narrating content of some kind, and they're doing really well. So that's what I mean. There's all sorts of ways that you can do this. There's not one right way of doing it. There's lots of different strategies, lots of different ways that you can do it and be successful at it. Like, you can release one video a month. I mean, that's what Fortnite does these days. They just release like one video a month, and it gets millions of views, and that probably pays for their earnings, that pays for their everything.
Yeah.
In a month, and they do one video, but they will spend that whole month doing that video. So it's there are different ways to do this. There's not one right way. There's not a wrong way.
Yeah.
But there are lots of wrong ways, but there are lots of right ways as well. Is what I'm trying to say.
The wrong thing. It's not a wrong thing to just try it.
No.
You can always upload a video and go, God, I'm never doing that again, and that's fine.
And
but it does take time, and it can be a bit demoralizing when you get 7 views in 3 weeks. And it's
that's the journey you're going through right now, isn't it? With your channel.
Which is kind of, I mean, the video we'll talk about maybe at the end, my channel a little bit, but the best video I've done is where me and you are stuffing our faces. And I think it's because I put you in there to try and get people to watch my video.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
use what you've got, guys. Use what you got.
Because that's taking kind of a leaf out of that book. I want to be able to do the same thing. It's a case of collaborating with channels that have a bigger reach than you, and hoping that some of the viewers of their channel come over to yours and collaborations can do really well for a channel, and that's one of the things that we are trying to do, well, that I would love to do more of in future. But it's a case of, because it's got to be a good deal for both people. It can't be all one-sided. So it's going to have to be a channel that is of a similar size as ours, really.
Yeah.
And that's when it'll work. But I don't know. We'll see. And in the new year as well, I'm going to be badgering more motorcycle dealerships as well to get on some of their bikes. So yeah, because I did go down to Fraser's, which is our local motorcycle garage, a local motorcycle garage here. And I asked them about getting on demo bikes and things, and they were like, yeah, but it doesn't happen until March. So I've got to wait till spring now to find out whether or not they'll let me ride a bike. But we've got lots of dealerships around here, so hopefully just asking a few, hopefully we can make that happen as well. And yeah, that's something I've been trying to do all of last year, or all of 2023.
Yeah,
is trying to get some more bikes on the channel. So there you go. That's kind of how it goes, I suppose. Alrighty, so we've kind of discussed the performance of 2023. Where do we want it to be next year? And then we'll move on to a Q&A.
Okay.
So if we are going to continue with shorts, which we will, hopefully twice a week, but there are certain videos that work for shorts more than others, so I can't turn every video into a short, and it might be a case of when I'm out on a shoot a video specifically for a short as well. I might have to start doing that. But again, like shorts, they don't take a lot of time to edit, but you got to have the right idea, and you got to try and compress it into basically a minute long, which is really hard. But they are certainly paying off. They're getting a lot of reach. So hopefully this time next year, my aim is to have over 20,000 subscribers. That's my goal. So we're less than 9K at the moment, but we have more than doubled our subscribers over the last 12 months. So all we need to do is do that again. More than double the subscribers that we had this year. And hopefully we'll be where we want to be, because then the following year after that, then hopefully we'll be on 40, 50k subscribers. When we're at that point, that's when you're talking kind of maybe turning into a career, is at that point. So at least if the earnings are matching up to, or are growing at the rate that they should be growing, in line with the subscribers, in line with the viewers. So to be honest with you, if I want to make this into a career, we've got to be getting 1 million views a month. Yeah. Not 1 million views a year. 1 million views a month is what we need.
But we're going the right way.
We are going the right way.
It's not like it's
not been stagnant.
It's
not been stagnant. It's constantly growing. It's constantly getting bigger reaches, and just trying to figure out, what titles work to get the best reach, what intrigues people the most. We're learning more about that as well every day. I've
got a couple ideas of what we can do. It's a bit late now, but next December I've got a few ideas on what we can potentially do to keep people engaged over the festive period. But so I think they've literally just popped into my head. So
okay. That's one of the things that I do a lot, is if I just have an idea and I'm in the middle of a conversation or I'm in bed, I write it down.
I haven't got a coriander brain. A colander brain. Definitely coriander today.
Yeah, I promise you, because by this time tomorrow you would have forgotten
I'm going to write it down in a bit, don't worry.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely do.
I got you, boo.
All right, so, shall we crack on with the Q&A?
Well, before we do that, I just want to, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about my experience on the channel this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go for it.
So for me, obviously I haven't been on the channel very much this year. I had a lot of other things going on that's required my attention, and obviously started my own channel now, which is requiring my attention. But it's always fun when I am on the channel, and it's something that people seem to ask for on videos where we are together, asking that I go on the channel more. Anyway, that ZX9R video where I lift the bike up, did that the same day that I rode the ZX9. You can tell, like, I'm wearing the same thing and I'm, whatever.
Well, it's a funny coincidence because there was a viewer that left a comment on the one that when you were test riding the ZX9, and it struggled to start, and it's because we had the bike on its side. We shot that video before we got you on the bike test riding it.
Yeah.
So I think like the fuel inside the carbs had leaked somewhere else, or what have you, and it wasn't. There wasn't any fuel in the carbs to start the bike up straight away.
Yeah.
But someone thought there was something wrong with the bike because it shouldn't take long to start the bike up.
Yeah.
And every day it doesn't
struggle,
take
does
much
it?
to start up whatsoever.
But
it was just in that moment.
It was literally that we'd done 2 videos back to back, and one happened to be the bike was on its side as I was trying to pick it up. But I think I just want to address a couple of things from that video, if you don't mind. Whilst I have a voice.
That was a while ago, but
I know.
by all means.
Thank you to everyone who was saying that I was brave for doing it, because actually at the time I was unsure of myself. I think that's the thing. You think, oh, it's a big bike, but actually once I got on it and I got my confidence, like, I was enjoying it, and I was getting up. I know it sounds silly, like 7 miles an hour, which was great.
It's funny because the short that I made of that video it's got a slightly different narrative to the full video. The full video, of course, a lot of you probably would have watched that one.
Yeah.
Where the wifey was really tentative, she was really nervous.
I was tense as well.
And then towards the end of the video, she was really happy and she was enjoying herself. And I had to keep encouraging her at the beginning of the video, try and just.
And I think at the end, I said, "Can I just go one more time?"
Just make sure she knows that she's okay. She's not riding anything different to what she has done before. It's just a little bit bigger, and kind of try and keep it as in context. But the short is just you enjoying yourself on the bike.
Yeah. I think there was a couple of comments that were saying that you pushed me into it, and if I wasn't happy, I shouldn't have done it. I'm not confident enough. And do you know what? To those people, like, if I was never confident to do something and I wasn't encouraged, I'd never do anything. I'd never leave my house. Yeah. So actually, comments like that are unnecessary, and without knowing me, I think you can't really make those comments.
Well,
you know what I mean?
How many times whilst we've been together? Is it? Oh God,
nearly 11 years.
Now I'm going to be in trouble. I was going to say 10 years. Okay, 11 years in June, isn't it? How many times have you been in that situation where you're like, I don't want to do this, and I'm like, come on, you'll be fine. It's okay. You'll be all right, and you'll enjoy it. And then you believe me, and then you actually go ahead and do it.
Oh, at some points daily. I'm not a very confident person in general, like about anything ever. Am I really? I can be quite shy and quite reserved.
Yeah.
But actually, being encouraged to do something, it massively helps.
It's more of a case of like, I'd never get you to do anything that I didn't think you could do.
Yeah, you'd never put me in
and if I trust your abilities and I trust your judgment, which I do more often than not, then I'm going to encourage you to do things that maybe you never would have thought of doing before. One thing that really springs to mind, and I'm probably going to put this in a video at some point as well because I've never posted this on social media, but it's when we went to Florida and we were at the gun range.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say that was such a lot of fun, man. We spent so much money in that gun range, but we were just like using different guns, using different ammo. And I remember we were using all the pistols, and we got up to a 44 Magnum, and you were really nervous about shooting it. And I was like, no, you'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be fine. Just try it. You'll be all right. And you were absolutely fine.
But it's not even just things like that. It's when we went to Tenerife and I went on all the rides that I was really like unsure about going on.
That was recent as well.
That was recent.
That was this year, wasn't it?
I just think, and it's difficult as a creator to sit there and have your work questioned or what you're doing questioned. And it's like, we should really be encouraging and saying, you know what? you did a really good thing there, and you were really brave, and you did that. And that was the majority of the comments was, like, go on, like, really, really good.
That is social media. It's cutthroat.
It is.
People will say things that you won't like all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, I've said this before, but I get a lot of anxiety about reading comments and stuff because when you put your heart and soul into something and you think, yeah, that was really good. I've done something positive there, and you get someone that shits on it. It's a bit. It's not very nice. It's not very nice to hear, but that is social media.
Yeah, no, it is 100%.
That is how it is. But the thing is, the one thing that I mean, a lot of you might know me a bit better than obviously people that just leave random comments, but I am one of those people that tries to share positive experiences with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can come across as quite strong. Sometimes that can come across as pushy. I don't know, but it's trust.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's trusting that other person. The thing is, like me and the waifu, we've been together for so long now, where you kind of know how each other ticks and things like that, and it's a case of, well, I know I can encourage the wifey up to a point, but then, if she still doesn't want to do that thing, I'll back off. But I will continue to push you to do things that maybe you're not necessarily that comfortable with, to broaden your horizons, and I'd expect anyone to do the same with me.
Yeah.
As well, because that's when you learn new things. That's when you get to experience things that you never thought you'd ever do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like to think that I'm quite an adventurous person, and I just like to share that with people, in whatever capacity that might be. I just want to share that with people.
But I just because I'm going to ask you the same question in a second before we go to the lovely comments that we're having, and I love I always love the interaction.
We'll read your comments in a second.
I just
guys,
always
promise.
love the little interaction that's going on. But I'm going to ask you a question in a sec, but I'm going to actually answer it first.
Okay.
So my highlight from the channel for 2023 is definitely riding that bike, because I actually really enjoyed it. And
it's a fun bike. It's really fun.
And I was brave enough to do it. And I had a little bit of oh my god, I don't know if you left it in the video, where the bike started whining. And I was like, is that in the video?
Yeah.
I can't remember. And I was like, it's going to blow up. Oh my gosh,
video,
you need to get here.
Just the fan blowing.
And it's just, but I'd never been on a bike that was like that.
You never
before.
you've never been on a motorcycle that had an active cooling system.
But, the fact I actually, after a bit of encouragement and a conversation about it, or a few conversations about it, I got on it and I did it. And that's my highlight from the channel for 2023. What is your highlight for 23?
Oh my goodness. That is...
What's
really
the first thing that comes to your mind? We haven't got all night.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that because I do so much that a lot of it blurs into like one experience. Are we talking channel related or not channel related?
We'll do channel related.
Oh, okay.
For now, but if you want to do a personal 2023 highlight at the end, we can do that.
Man, I don't know.
Do you want to think about it and we'll come back to it? Have you got a general highlight of 2023?
Yeah, I do, because Download Festival.
Oh, yeah, true.
I was, honestly, I'm at home there, man. Just when you're surrounded by people that are all there for the same thing as you.
All like-minded.
Everyone appreciates the same music. There's no experience like it. And everyone's just so nice, and everyone is just having a whale of a time. It's just fun.
Yeah, you make so many random friends as well.
Just that was so much fun, and for me, that is definitely the highlight of this year. For me,
is it?
Is that? Yeah, without shadow of a doubt. Yeah. I mean, in terms of motorcycle experiences, I think the BSB was also a hell of a lot of fun. That was such a good day out.
Yeah.
Because we went to Thruxton, and it was great. A lot of fun.
One thing I would say, we've been really fortunate with the experiences we've had this year. And that's something I'm really grateful for, is that we've had, and like everyone has, we've had some rough times this year, But actually, we've also had some really great ones as well, and I'm really grateful for those experiences we've been able to have.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
But let's stop being soppy and
let's go ahead. Let's have a look at some of these comments,
Q&A.
and then we'll do the Q&A. If you've asked any questions in here already, then we'll try to answer them.
Yeah.
Right, let's say hello to everybody. So we said hello to Dope Style Gaming, Steve, Mark, Paul. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Flo, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Again, another old face. Who else? Simbak, good to see you, mate. How you doing?
There's one that I really want to read out.
Nick, good to see you. Who else?
Grumpy Old Git.
Grumpy Old Git, good to see you, mate. How you doing? How you doing? Nerdy Faulkner, good to see you, mate. Paul, have I said Paul already? Alrighty. Okay, let's go through some of these comments then. Wifey, do you wanna go through them?
Sure. Could you turn it around? I'm left-handed, remember? Right.
So I'll just unplug it. There you
go. Steve has said, "Wifey more riding her bike."
Not a stellar riding year for you, is it?
No, not at all. But yeah, it's something that we talk about a lot. And yeah, I think I do agree. I don't ride very much, and I've been asked if I can put some of myself on my channel. So it's watch this space. Something else that I want to do next year, and we have spoken about this. I don't think you remember this. You've got a new bike. I've got a new car. Race part 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that a while ago. Like, we need to do another race style video.
Because people enjoyed it and it was fun for us.
Yeah, but again, our first one didn't do very well.
I know, but yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we got to keep trying it, keep at it.
I jumped over a fence in hills, Dope Style has said, "You thought I'd miss this? I can't believe I'm watching a Gobsy and Mrs. live show. What a present!"
Oh, thank you, mate. You're very very kind. Too kind.
Dope Style, I know Wifey has a channel now, but I forgot what it was. Is it up and running or still in the works? It's up and running. We've actually done. I think I've only posted about 4 videos. My last video was last week. You're on one of them. We got the entire McDonald's festive menu and ate it.
That was a good day.
Yeah. So
that was nice.
What we'll do is, if you don't mind, we'll tag the channel in.
Is my mum trying to call me?
I know what that's about. We'll tag the channel in the comments, but it's called I'm Just Me 2332, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's there.
After the show, we'll put it in the description.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flo, not so much a question, but your videos got me through my full test, man. Hope you have a great Christmas. That's amazing.
That's good to hear, mate. I'm so glad. It's really funny. I was watching a video on, oh gosh, I can't remember what the channel is now. But it was about discrimination towards motorcyclists, and I never really thought of motorcyclists as like a social group, but it is, of course it is. And so I'd never thought that you could be discriminated against for being a motorcyclist.
Of course you can.
But you absolutely can. And going through your motorcycle test when you've already done your driving license, that is just one of those things that the motorcycle test is so much harder than the driving test. Mm-hmm. And you think to yourself, automatically, you think there's something going on there. There's some discrimination going on there. You know, there's no need to do 2 modules on a motorcycle test, in my opinion. I don't know why they've done that. I think there's maybe in the works. I think they're looking to change that. But
yes, I have read a couple of things, but it's all speculation at this point.
But you know what I mean? It takes a lot of time, money, and effort to commit to passing your motorcycle test. And most people who start on a 125 never get round to actually doing their motorcycle test. So I'm really glad that you stuck with it and that you did it. Well done, mate.
I'm being attacked by a dog. Dope Style, analytics-wise, this channel has been growing at a rate I haven't seen in a while, especially when it's all organic. Sorry. Steve's asked, is there one for Twitch? I'm assuming that's the thing we were looking at on there.
We are not on Twitch.
So I wouldn't know if there was a platform where you could see what Twitch is doing.
I don't know, sorry. I'm not on Twitch at all. I don't even use Twitch.
I don't think I've even got an account on Twitch.
I think I used Twitch once. Not as a creator, but as a viewer. I've only ever used it once. So no, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Dope Style, to be honest, I am one of the weirdos that doesn't really engage with social media. YouTube is pretty much the only way I see content from YouTube, and that's fine.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's me. If I ever watch content, it's just on YouTube. I don't use any other platform.
If there's content on Instagram, I usually show you, don't I?
Yeah. But me personally, no, I don't use any other platform than YouTube to watch content.
Whereas I use 4 different platforms because I'm curious about what everyone else is doing. So Paul's got a question. I'm getting a new second-hand bike over Christmas. The bikes on the shortlist are Suzuki SV650, a Bandit 650 with fairings, and a GSX 750F. Which would you recommend?
One question I do have for you is why all Suzuki? There are lots of options out there, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and even some European bikes that are pretty damn good in that same class. But if I had to pick out of all of those, I would say the 750. More displacement, more torque. I think you're just going to have more of a fun time on that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have a very similar engine to the GSX R750. I could be wrong there. That's not a motorcycle I'm familiar with, but if it does have a similar engine and it's tuned in a very similar way, then the 750 every time. But a lot of it depends on the kind of motorcycle that you want and your experience level. I mean, I'm assuming that you've been riding for a while, so yeah, just get the 750.
I think that's kind of just, I've been seeing a few comments come in. I think that's been the general.
Oh yeah, just straight underneath that Mark says there's GSS.
Yeah, and then
GSX 750.
We've got Flow as well. A bit concerned about Steve. He said he's on a gaming chair that might explode. That's concerning. I hope you're okay. Simba K, if it counts for anything, I like how you do your videos, that's why I'm here, but I would like to see more variety regarding the motorcycles you talk about.
Yep.
We've had our fill of the ZZRs.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, to be honest with you.
And to be fair, you have said, you do try and swap the bikes you take out, don't you? But we've only got a few.
I don't try to, I actively try to not release a video on the same bike every day. So we release at the moment on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I try to alternate the bikes every single one, but it's hard, man, because this is something I've been wanting to do for such a long time, is get more bikes on the channel, talk about more bikes. Maybe it's a case of, instead of, I don't like doing this style of content because, again, it just feels cheap and it feels dishonest. But doing videos about motorcycles that I have not ridden, and talking about like motorcycles, like for example the ZX4RR compared to the Ninja 400. I'm really curious about the similarities and the differences between those two bikes. Which one is arguably better than the other?
It wouldn't be a full review though, would it? Because you would have experienced them both.
And that's why I feel dishonest doing it. Honestly, I've been tempted to do a video like that for a long time. And there's a channel that I subscribed to quite a while ago called Quackerjack. And they're very centered around Kawasaki motorcycles, kind of similarly to us, I suppose. But that's not really, strictly speaking, true either, to be honest. I don't want to be a Kawasaki channel. But he does videos comparing motorcycles that do quite well, but he hasn't ridden them. The only motorcycle he has is a Ninja 400. But he does those videos. So I feel like it's dishonest if I'm doing that. If I'm making a video comparing motorcycles that I've never ridden before, I don't feel like I would be that happy with it.
Yeah,
to be honest. But that's why we do the videos on the same bikes all the time, because right now that's all we've got.
But it's also why we're trying to reach out to dealerships to try and test ride bikes so we can give more varied content.
This year I'm going to do a massive push on getting some different bikes. I mean, maybe it's a case of doing maybe like a meet with some locals, local subscribers, and if anyone is willing to let me take their bike out for a day.
Someone has suggested that later on.
Okay.
So you
let's
get back to the comments.
Again, if people are willing to do that, then honestly, you'll have my eternal gratitude.
Yeah, we'll come to that a little bit further down, but we'll come to that in a minute.
Okay.
Nick has said, "Great to have you back on a live stream. The dog looks pretty chilled too." He was, now he's having a little
a little breakdown.
Yeah, down there. Okay, so Grumpy Old Git. I've been watching your channel for months and just had a ZH2 SE delivered last week. Done 250 miles in 2 days. I love it. Let me
Can't
finish.
go
Hold
wrong
on.
with that.
Living my dream then, not totally not jealous. Oh, and he's 67.
Fair play, mate.
You're 67, that is amazing.
You couldn't have bought much better a bike than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I still personally think that you should have gone for the ZH2. Oh, sorry, yeah, ZH2 SE. Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I had in my head the H2SX. Yeah,
I might have said something wrong.
No. That, yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, that, yeah. Anyone that owns a ZH2, you know what it's about.
You're in the club.
Yeah. They are amazing bikes, man, honestly. ZH2, my favourite bike of all time, seriously.
Yeah, well, I mean, you test rode one in the June and we had it delivered in the August, so yeah.
Yep.
Nerdy.
Seriously, it's the best bike I've ever ridden, seriously.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Nerdy Faulkner. New rider here, been watching your videos on slipping the clutch, have helped a lot, but I'm still pretty crap at it. It's just practice, I guess, isn't it? She says, not knowing how to do it.
Oh, hello, mate.
He is back.
Just jumped over here, our little cushion here. Slip in the clutch. What do you mean exactly by that? Do you mean like clutch control? I mean, I'm assuming clutch control. If you're a new rider, trying to explain the feel of how the clutch is when I'm operating it is so hard to get across. And I try. I mean, we've done multiple videos about clutch control just to try and get as many ways as possible to try and get that message across about the easiest way to do it. And I get some people saying like, "Oh, I can't do that on my bike. I can't do that on this bike." I promise you can. The difficulty that you're having is you're not feathering the clutch light enough, and you have to get your hand used to kind of like the subtle differences in feel between when the clutch has been engaged and the gears have been engaged and when it's not, because it's literally like that much distance, that much gap between, and maybe even smaller than that, between a clutch being engaged or disengaged. And that's the point you're trying to find, is you're trying to find that friction point where the clutch isn't fully engaged yet, but as it starts getting the bike moving, then you can let the clutch out fully. But I mean, well, if you've got any more questions about it, then feel free to ask, and I'll try and do my best to answer them.
Cool. Simba K, how about reviewing subscribers' bikes? And Flo said that would be some good interaction there.
Yeah.
So there is a good demand for it, so to speak.
Yeah. The thing is, whenever I think about that, I think like, okay, well, how would I feel if someone asked to ride my bike, any of my bikes?
Yeah.
And I think, would I let someone do that? You know, someone that I don't know. And as much as you guys, you know, you watch us regularly, and I like to hope that you know us a little bit on a personal level, because I mean, we wear our hearts on our sleeves. We don't exactly hide anything. But I would find it difficult to trust someone that I've not met before to ride my own bikes. That's why I've always been hesitant to do that, to ask anyone to ride their bikes around. But if there's anyone out there living in the Gloucestershire area, Worcestershire area, Somerset area, Bristol area, then you want me to have a go, Oxfordshire, Herefordshire,
we can make that happen.
Well, honestly, that would be over the moon. I'd be so happy with that. And of course, you know, I wouldn't treat the bike like shit. I'd look after it.
You have respect for all machines.
You know, I'd only treat it as far as you'd want me to go. I wouldn't go I wouldn't go outside of that either. But that would be amazing, and that would certainly help the channel immensely.
Yeah,
I think.
Paul said, I listened to an interesting podcast about the difference between carbs and fuel injection on bikes. Issue being that garages these days don't want to be spending hours troubleshooting on newer bikes, whereas the older carved bikes are more mechanical.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of mechanics, they prefer working on carbureted motorcycles because, I mean, it's in the name. It's mechanics. You are trying to figure out mechanical problems, whereas fuel injection, you're actually looking at issues on a computer more often than not. And because I'm a bit of a nerdy guy myself, I'm not all that intimidated by something like that. But I'm more intimidated by looking at mechanics sometimes. But yeah, honestly, I think his carbs were so good as well. Carburetors were really good, and they just made so much sense for motorcycles. I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there that would know more about it than I do, but do they really produce that much more emissions if they were carbureted compared to the fuel injected? You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference, but that's why everyone went fuel injection. I think it was because of emission standards, and that was it, pretty much. I really like carbureted motorcycles as well. I think they're a lot of fun. Oh yeah, you can't really see him, but there he is. Sorry, I get distracted by the dog. But yeah, I genuinely think that is the case. Mechanics prefer working on carbureted bikes because a lot of the times they are much simpler. They haven't got any sense. They haven't got as many sensors on them. They haven't got as much rubbish around them. They are plain and simple engines.
Well, Flo said can't blame them. I had to troubleshoot an injector a few months back, and having it pointed in a bottle felt like setting off a bomb.
Yeah. I've luckily I've not had to do that yet, but honestly, if there's an issue with a fuel injector, I'm probably just going to send it to an expert, because either they'll clean. I think they can either clean it or rebuild it, or because they test like the flow, the spray pattern of the injector, and if it's not spraying at exactly the right rate, or if it's dripping or leaking or something like that, then the bike ain't going to run properly. So yeah, I think that would be my first thing to try and do. Is, but I can't say that because we run a YouTube channel, and it's funny trying to watch some idiot trying to fix it himself, isn't it? So I'll have to try and do it myself first, and then if I couldn't do it, then take it to an expert.
Yeah. Dope style. Every biker needed confidence from some type of source, be it where we are now, be where we are now, be it excitement from a video or positive reinforcement from a friend. We all need encouragement. We are human after all. Yes, can't put it any better way. So Mark has 2 questions. Wifey mod 1 and 2. What does that mean?
So it's taking your full test.
Oh, I see.
Are you going to take your full test? I don't expect you to answer that question today. Because
I'm not going to answer that right now.
All right. Well, let's kind of just talk a little bit about your motorcycling this year, because I think it's fair to say that you haven't exactly been all that happy riding bikes this year.
No.
Do you know why that is?
No.
You don't know why that is?
Do you know why that is?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me, so then we could try and do something about it.
I think it's something I need to sit with before I...
Yeah, but we've had the conversation a lot.
I know.
And we've had arguments over this.
We have.
Because, wifey's paying for that bike still, and she hardly uses it. So, I'm not happy with it. But let's not start an argument right here. It wouldn't be the right place or time. But is there any room for you to get back on a bike again next year?
Yes.
Do you think is there anything that I can do or anything that the viewers can do to help you with that endeavour?
I don't know right now.
Okay.
I think the thing is, people can say, "Oh, you should be riding and you should be doing this," and it's like, yes, I agree with you there, but I don't want to do it because people are expecting me to do it. I want to do it because I want to do it. I just need. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I really want to answer right now. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, it is going to have to get to crunch time at some point in the near future because I think, is it next year that you would have paid your bike off?
Yes.
You own your bike outright.
Yes.
Your Ninja 125.
Mhm.
I mean, so the last conversation that I had with the wifey, my intention is that, or my hope is that she does her theory test, Mod 1, Mod 2 this year before her CBT runs out. Because your CBT runs out, I think, in July.
September.
Okay, so you got a little bit more time. My hope is that she does it. And the thing is, like, even if she doesn't ride after that, you know, she just gives it up entirely, at least she's got the license, and all that money that you've invested, all that time that you've invested, it isn't going to waste.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my hope. And fingers crossed we can make that happen. But, you know, motorcycling isn't for everyone.
No.
Simple as that. As much as I like to shout from the rooftops how great riding bikes is and everyone should do it, it just isn't for some people. And we just got to accept it, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah. So moving on from that, it says Goblin haircut. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it time?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Can I dye it before you cut it? At least the ends.
I will have to ask work to make sure that they're happy with it first.
And then if it's like washout dye,
But
like semi-permanent.
Semi-permanent, yeah. But if you're gonna dye hair, it's gonna make a permanent change for a while. Because I'd actually really love to do that live as well.
Oh yeah, I'd be up
if
for
you
that.
want to dye my hair live, and I'm happy with that.
I don't think we had the channel when I had red hair, did we?
No.
But you helped me dye my hair, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, she
I
had all red hair.
I had a red hair face.
Yeah.
This is now my natural colour, so we're not changing my colour again.
But yeah, haircut I think is due soon. I mean, how long is that bloody thing? Look at that.
Yeah, I think mine's longer still though.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like, I can't even show you.
So the biggest issue with my hair, and I said this to wifey years ago, is that I'm balding on my crown, and I hate it because around the sides, around the front, the hair growth is fine, but then right there on the crown, it's really bad. And if I'm gonna keep my long hair, I think I've got to do something about that. But I don't know if I am gonna keep it.
Okay.
At least not as long as it is right now. I might cut it down to like shoulder height or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, haircut is certainly something I've been thinking about for a long time.
But if we dye it, it will be on a video or something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Dope style. Not so much of a question, but a small update. I've fully recovered since the accident. I'm back at work, back at uni, back in the gym, and most importantly, back on a motorcycle. You won't like it though. Oh, what we're not gonna like? What bike have you got?
Yeah, tell us what bike it is, mate. Because thing is, I don't really care what bike you ride. I don't care what bike anyone rides. The main thing is that you are riding and you're getting involved with the hobby. Everyone has their personal preferences when it comes to bikes, and some people don't have a choice in the matter. Some people would want a motorcycle over another, but it's just what they can afford. There's nothing wrong with that.
You might have said this, but I won't lie. I'm zoned out for just a second. The most important thing is that your accident didn't put you off riding, and you are back in the saddle, so to speak. And you know, you're again, it hasn't changed your love for it or your confidence or your passion, which is the main thing, regardless what two-wheeler you've decided to get.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm over the moon for you. Yeah. I'm glad that you're back to normal, or as back to normal as can be.
Yeah.
And yeah, let us know what bike it is.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And thank you for subbing to my channel.
No shame, okay?
Oh,
no shame
100%.
whatsoever. All right, you might have a little bit of banter, but honestly, I don't care what motorcycle you ride as long as you're riding. Simple as that.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you for the sub. The videos may not be to like your taste, but
well,
on occasion,
if you have a mum, sister, wifey, girlfriend, then hook them up.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'd appreciate what's on the wifey's channel.
And also, we're going to do quite a few food challenges together. So and they if the first one's anything to go by, they're going to be quite fun going forward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In fact, actually, that's something that I've thought about recently. Talking about Wifey's channel, I'm thinking of opening a second channel myself as well. Doing stuff that is a bit more, I don't know, not necessarily as niche. Something a little bit more light-hearted, something a little bit less serious, and I don't know, maybe serious, but to some extent. But yeah, just doing a second channel. I don't know. Yeah. This one does take up a lot of my time. The only thing is does it? Would I have the time to do it? That's the only thing. If I do this full time, then yeah, but can I do it part time? Running 2 channels. I don't know, but that's something I've been thinking about for the new year as well.
Flo, here on the Isle of Man, it's just one test with a few manoeuvres in the middle, makes it way more approachable and less expensive. Yes,
we need that over here, please.
Yeah, I'll just move there and do it. Much easier.
Does that count though? Does it count as a full UK license?
I won't come back. I'll just live there.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Free TT every year. I don't have to pay to get there.
That's true. That's something we're looking to do next year as well as the TT.
Yes. So I've accidentally gone to the bottom again.
I hate it when it does that. It did that to me a lot as well back in the day.
Right. Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex. Sorry, I must have missed you. And DJ Smokey. How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
I've only been riding 10 months. And summer was great. I don't feel as confident riding in the wet. How do you feel more confident riding in the winter?
Good question. Honestly, riding in the winter is or can be scary. It depends on the weather, but my rule of thumb is I'm quite confident in the roads. Anything that is above 5 degrees Celsius, I'm quite confident in the roads. Anything under 5 degrees Celsius, you've got to be careful. Anything under 0 degrees Celsius, that is when, that's when it gets real. Because road conditions at that point are abysmal for 2 wheels. And a lot of it is time, experience, and just having that time in the cockpit really is the best way to get your confidence up. If there's any, I don't know, is there any particular tips anything that I do in the rain or anything that I do in the winter months that is different to my summer riding? I think I tend to go into corners much slower in the winter months. That's definitely one thing that I do.
Just going to say, there's been a few replies to this. Do you want me to read those first, and then you can see if there's anything you want to add?
Well, I was going to just kind of have my take on it first, and then we could go through it again and see if anyone is of a similar mindset or if the viewers are on something that I'm not. But
yes, boss.
Yeah, the riding in a straight line isn't necessarily an issue. It's going around bends and giving yourself as much distance as possible in the winter months. I think is really important. Giving yourself as much time to respond to things, because in the summer months you can respond pretty harshly to some kind of incident going on in front of you, and you'd be all right. But if you did that exact same thing in the winter months, depending on the temperature, you might not be able to do it. And as well as another thing, that this time of year the roads tend to be really greasy as well. So it's not just the fact that they're wet, it's not just the fact that it's cold, it's like they're oily, they're really greasy is the best way that I can describe it. But giving yourself extra time, I think, is definitely the best way to go about it, and that will give you confidence naturally. But yeah, you should be giving yourself time anyway, like in any riding season, but more time at this time of year I think is paramount. So what has everyone else said?
So Paul has said, for me, riding in the winter is just to be more cautious in general, ride slower if needed. I find the road markings to be lethal. Yes, that's a really good point. Yeah, road markings, drain covers, manhole covers. This time of year, they are horrendous. And also potholes where they've got water and you don't know how deep they actually are, do you? They're scary, and in a car, let alone a bike. Yeah, because the depth. Yeah, that's true. And you don't know what's in. It could be something in the pothole as well, which is sharp.
I
can't tell.
as a rule of thumb, I never ride over drain covers or road markings if I can help it.
No.
And that's a good attitude to have, because then you're going to do the same thing in the winter anyway.
Yep. Flo said, this and being very careful when accelerating out of a corner. Out of all the crash clips I've seen, most are losing traction when coming out of a corner.
Yep. 100%.
Paul has said, I ride on country roads as well, and leaves and dirt from the farmers in and out of fields is lethal.
Yeah,
also,
that's so
proper
true.
tyre pressure and good tyres.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, proper tyre pressure. I mean, is there something to be said for lower tyre pressure this time of year? Try and give yourself a little bit more grip. I don't know. Maybe lower tyre pressures might be something you could look at doing, but don't take my word for it. The safest and best thing to do is just make sure your tyres are properly inflated. I'm just
going to skip over the next comment just for a sec. We will come back to that. But Doper said, for me, from December to around late Feb, my riding mindset changes from going out on joyrides all the time to going from point A to point B in the safest way possible.
I still try to enjoy it as much as possible, and I do take my bikes as much as I possibly can during the winter months anyway. I mean, I put 3 times the mileage on my bikes than I do in my car. And it's consistent, even in December through to February. But
oh yeah, 100%.
It's nowhere near as enjoyable. I think that's the problem. As much as you're trying to enjoy yourself, you simply can't. In the winter months, you can't. Your hands get too cold, your feet get too cold, your head gets too cold, and just makes it quite miserable sometimes.
Not enjoyable.
So it is difficult to enjoy yourself on a bike during the winter, but it's still certainly doable.
Okay. So the comments I'm going to go back to are something from Mark and Dope, and it's something that we did actually talk about in take 1 of this video, which is you mentioned that you're going to reveal your name.
Aha. This conversation.
We haven't revealed your name, or obviously who I am, but I'm not as important. But yeah.
All right. So what I was originally planning to do was unveil my name because I wanted to help promote my martial arts gym, because 2023 has been a really difficult year for us. We've got really low numbers of members this year. And yes, we are somewhat still recovering from the pandemic, but that was quite a long time ago now. We're talking almost 2 years ago, 1.5, 2 years ago, and I really would have expected the martial arts gym to be performing better than it is. So my thinking was I could reveal my name in order to promote the martial arts gym, and anyone that's living in the Gloucestershire area, because our martial arts gym is in Gloucester. Anyone who's living in that area can come and say hello, and if they're interested, maybe join up. And just trying to use this platform to promote that a little bit more, to give it a little bit of a helping hand, give it a bit more of a reach, and just seeing if that can turn the tide. Because literally, yeah, this year's been abysmal for us. And pre-pandemic, we were doing really well. Our hall was completely full. We had loads of clients, and so I wanted to get back to that where we were as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, it hasn't happened yet, and we're trying all sorts of things. We're really trying to get it going in the right direction. But that was the original motivation behind doing it, and I don't know if I'm going to reveal my name, or if I should tell everyone what the martial arts gym is. And if you're really curious, you can go onto our website. My name is there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because it's the last video of the year.
Yeah, let's
Shall
reveal
we do it?
the.
Well, what I'll do, I'll put it up on here actually, on this screen, just so people know. But that is the main motivation, guys. It's nothing. It's not anything overly serious, but again, yeah, just trying to do whatever we can to try and help our martial arts gym along is paramount. And I mean, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been training since the year 1999. That is a ridiculous amount of time, but
yeah,
Because this is the exact same martial arts club that I trained at, and I took it over about 10 years ago.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just, sorry, I'm really nervous. I don't know why.
It's a big thing, though, isn't it? Because it's another part of us which we're sharing.
Yeah, and again, it's something that I have a really big passion for, is martial arts and training, and yeah, I've had that for a long time. I had this before motorcycles as well. My passion for bikes. So anyway, here we go. This is my martial arts gym. Okay. And then, there's a little trailer of us doing some sparring there. All right, so you can see on YouTube, we haven't got that many subscribers on YouTube, but yeah, Nova Combat Gym. That is our martial arts club here in Gloucester. And if you want to know who I am, then you can just click that little link there, meet the team. I am the head instructor there, and I have a couple of other guys that help me out on a weekly basis. But there you go. So if you are curious, then by all means,
that's your way to find out.
Go ahead. I'm not concerned about my name, to be honest, anymore. Anyway, it was more of a, I don't know what the motivation really was. I think it was a case of originally I didn't show my face either.
No.
When we started off the channel, I think it was a case of trying to keep as much of it separate as possible and try and be like, well, if this doesn't work out, then it's not a big deal because no one knows who I am. But as this is growing and as we are getting more of a community and as we're getting to know each other better, I don't see why people shouldn't know who I am.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really.
I don't find out who you are, but I'm still a mystery.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, like I kind of mentioned earlier, anyone who's living in the Gloucester area, by all means, come and say hello. Nova Combat Gym, just search that in Google, and you'll find us.
Yeah.
And we're not far from the town centre. So, but yeah, if you would as well, if you want to support us on that platform, then I'd really appreciate it as well. On YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're on Facebook as well. But yeah, YouTube is we're doing better on YouTube as well for our martial arts than any other platform. So speaking of which, I need to post on there again because I haven't posted there for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that's that.
We've got a few more questions left, and we're keeping these people, nearly an hour and a half. Right, so 01 Red Cloud, hello. What do you think of the ZX12R or the ZX7R? That's a top one.
ZX. What do you think of the ZX12 or the ZX7? I'm not that familiar with the ZX7. Because that's quite an old platform, isn't it? That's ZX7. Is that a 90s platform? Have I got that right? Let me just have a little Google here just to make sure that I'm not spewing the wrong information. But pretty sure that's an old Kawasaki bike, isn't it? But because the ZX12 that was the precursor to the ZX14. And again, arguably one of the revolutionary bikes of the time, early 2000s, late 90s. You had the ZR 1100. I imagine that's the ZX11R in the United States. So quite a revolutionary platform there, and there's still a lot of them out there that are in really good condition. So if you're looking for one of the fastest motorcycles ever made, and you're looking for something that's a little bit more touring-like, the ZX12 or ZX11, ZR 1100, ZR 1200, just absolutely fantastic bikes, and you can get them for less than £2,500. It's ridiculous how cheap they are these days. But Kawasaki, they don't hold their value all that well, unfortunately. I don't know why, but you can get some storming deals on Kawasaki at the moment. Yeah, 1996 to 2003 is ZX7R is what we're looking at. So let's have a look, see if I can find out some of these specs here, and then we'll put them up on the page for everyone. God, I hate using these trackpads. They're so bad.
The top one's an MCN. They might have. Oh, like that.
I like using motorcycle specs. I find all the information to be really clear and concise. So here we go.
Timu coming with the random ads.
Timu, gosh. Come on, scroll, would you? Okay, it doesn't want to scroll. All right, here we go. I love the look of these old bikes, though, from Kawasaki. Very reminiscent of the ZX-9 as well. ZX-9 is very similar shape, very similar size. I do wish mine was green, though.
I was going to ask you, do you mind yours being red? It's nice, but would you prefer it to be green?
I don't mind it being red, but I would certainly have preferred it to have been green.
If I am allowed to dye your hair, I'm dyeing your hair green.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. So we're looking at how much horsepower here. Okay, pretty good. So 112 horsepower and 55.6 foot-pounds of torque. What is that in Newton meters? We work in Newton meters. I'm going to say, is that 80? 80 Newton meters of torque, 90 Newton meters of torque, something like that. Might be overestimating a little bit there, but that's a very nice bike. Now, the biggest question is with these bikes is always how much they weigh. Now, is this site going to tell me how much it weighs? Wet weight, 227 kilograms. That is heavy. That is a heavy bike for a 700cc. What's the displacement? Oh, 750 cc. Still, that is heavy. If you're going to look at a motorcycle like that, I may encourage you to look more at Gixxer 750 because I think the Gixxers aren't they lighter, and I think they produce more power as well. But still, really, really nice bike all in all, and you can have a hell of a lot of fun on it. For me, that weight is just going to be a bit of an issue, and it's going to let it down quite a lot. You will find that 600cc motorcycles from just a few years later will outperform this easily. I mean, we are looking at the 96 model here, actually. So maybe they did create another generation. I mean, this is 96, 97. So maybe they had further generations later on down the line, which are a little bit better. Let's have a little look here. See if we can find one of the 2003 models instead. Because maybe, just maybe, they managed to get some more power, but doesn't look like it. Oh, hang on. Oh, now this is interesting. Okay.
God, how creepy is that map, though? Sorry, that advert's so creepy.
Yeah, so this is the latest model. This is 2002, 2003. Same displacement. Same amount of horsepower according to motorcycle specs. But has it gone down in weight?
227.
No.
In wet.
That is unfortunate. Okay.
How much does the ZX9R?
The ZX9R is 200 kilograms wet.
Wow. That's quite a big difference.
That is a huge difference. So again, ZX9, I would argue a ZX9R is a better deal here than a ZX7. But by far, the better bike out of these two, if you're looking at a ZX7R and a ZX12R, just ZX12 every time. you'd be stupid not if you could afford both of these bikes. You'd be stupid not to go for more horsepower, more torque. They are heavier, but in fact, I don't know actually if the ZX12 is going to be that much heavier than a ZX7. I bet you it's not. I bet you it's like 230 kg, something like that. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are. This is on another league, man. Another league. Hang on. Bloody trackpad again. Here we go. Look at this. ZX12. Okay. So this isn't a ZZR 1200. This is a totally different platform. Fascinating. How interesting. But this has got to be the one you go for. 178 horsepower, 134 newton meters of torque. You can't go wrong with this motorcycle whatsoever.
What's the weight?
That's what I'm trying to find, but no, I don't want Bentleys.
Goodness, what are you doing?
No, it's because of the damn. Go away. Because my damn trackpad again.
A bad workman blames his tools.
Yeah. All right.
245.
245 kilograms.
It's even heavier.
Not much. 15 kilograms heavier.
Still though.
15, 20 kilograms heavier, but for that much extra horsepower, 188.3 mile an hour top speeds. No brainer in my opinion if you're going to look at both of those or either of those ZX12 every time, in my opinion. But interesting. We might not get this motorcycle here in Europe. That's probably why I'm not familiar with it.
It's pretty though.
It is nice. It's very reminiscent of ZX9 again though, just a little bit more modern.
I like that colour scheme on that.
That's
one.
a nice bike, man.
Right. So we're getting a lot of people saying things that you've actually mentioned before. So Flo has said a bike restoration would be a good series. And that's something you've played around the idea, haven't you?
Even towards the end of this year I was looking at bikes to buy and restore. The thing is, I don't want to travel very far for one.
Yeah, we've got to get it back if it's not working.
And I don't have a trailer.
Yeah.
So how do we get the bike back is the question. But yeah, absolutely. That is one of the things that I've been wanting to do for such a long time now. Because I'm a total noob at mechanics. I mean, I've got a little bit of experience over the last couple of years, but having a go at restoring a motorcycle or at least trying to get it running and maybe even reselling it, again, that's something that I've been looking to do for a long time. But yeah, it's just logistics. Mm-hmm. Logistics are an issue.
So next, Mohammed Hamza Latif. Hello.
How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
Hey, I really like your video, so I wanted some directions. I own a 2009 R6. How do you suggest to safely enjoy the full potential of a sports bike? Now, Flo has helpfully said, get it on a track, absolute blast of fun for your money. But yeah, how do you enjoy the full potential of a sports bike?
I don't think you can compare street riding with track riding. Track riding is the ultimate way you're going to be able to experience your bike. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Because with sport bikes in particular, I mean, part of the fun is throwing them into corners, throwing them into twisties, and you can't really do that very quickly here in the UK. I mean, maybe it's a little bit better in the United States or in other countries where they've got just loads of land to play with. I don't know. The way how I enjoy bikes for the most part is in a straight line.
In a straight line. In
a straight line. As sad as that might sound, that's the only way you can really enjoy a motorcycle on public roads is in a straight line. Because once you start throwing the bike around at those kinds of speeds in bends, it's too much of a risk in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I've got like a bit of a cold or something at the moment. You can definitely enjoy an R6 or any 600cc bike on public roads, but it's never going to be the same as a track day experience on that bike. Simple as that. But mileage may vary, I suppose, depending on where you live, depending on what part of the country you live. Go on then, up you get. Like, for example, if you live on the Isle of Man here in the UK, you can enjoy a motorcycle almost to its fullest because the entire island is like a track day. It's like a track. So that's one of the reasons why I want to go to the Isle of Man next year, is to really experience the bikes at their fullest because it's legal. It's totally legal. Yeah. Anything in the Isle of Man that's a national speed limit is unlimited. Unlimited speed. So yeah, that's another recommendation, is Isle of Man.
Yeah, especially for the TT.
100%.
Muscle Bike, hello. Good evening.
Hello, mate.
All and Merry Christmas for myself and my Gen 1 1200 Bandit N.
Very nice.
So Dope has said, the bike that I currently own is a 2020 Lex Moto LXR 125. It's had 9,000 miles when I got it, and I got it for just over 1.2k. The Chinese government has finally taken me in.
Again, like I kind of said, it doesn't matter. The thing is, Chinese bikes, you're just taking a bit of a gamble, and that's it. They're a little bit low on power compared to Japanese counterparts, European counterparts, but it is what it is, mate. And the main thing is you're back riding. I don't care what bike it is. Literally, I don't care. I'm just happy that you're back on two wheels again, mate. Good for you.
Flo has said, let us know if you're over for the TT. Would be amazing to have a ride with you. It is something that we're trying to really consider, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll try and make it happen this year. Well, this next coming year.
So Dopa said, to be fair, I had 5 issues in the first 2 months of me owning my Yamaha R125, and yet not a single problem on the Chinese shite bike yet. ...
Good.
I got it as a way to get to and from uni and work for this year, but I plan to grab another R125 around September, October, but so far I'm very surprised by its all-around competency as a cheap bike.
Good. Yeah, that sounds like you might have a good one there, and that's the biggest issue I found with Chinese bikes is some of them might be really good, really reliable, and then some of them just blow up within the first 1,000 miles. So, but there are good ones out there. That's the thing. There are good ones out there. You just got to find the right one.
Yeah. A couple of comments about your name. What a lovely name from Dopes. I'll never have guessed that, though. I was convinced you were a Jeff type of guy. You look like a Jeff, don't you?
A Jeff? Jeff type of guy.
Mark, I remember way back when we had the same discussion, and it was touted that it was a South American name. That one was mentioned. I don't remember your name being mentioned in the list.
No, the only hint that I gave everyone, I think,
it was
either earlier this year or last year, late last year. It was the first letter of my name, and that was R. But no one got it when we did the show before.
No. So one of the questions, and I think we have done a video on around this, and I think we'll keep it short and sweet because we could be here all night talking about this. Yeah. Have you considered a Patreon or Discord system?
We had it all earlier this year. We had Patreon late last year. We had Patreon. Yeah. We had Discord. I wasn't able to keep up with it. Simple as that. The Discord, we really wanted to have some exclusive content for people who are subscribers on on Patreon rather, and that would give everyone access to a Discord server as well. And it was just too much. I think unfortunately, there were a few people there at the time who were supporters of ours. They didn't like it that I wasn't there enough for them, and the thing is, like when we first did the Discord thing and the Patreon thing, I gave access to people for free on the Discord for I think like the first month or the first 2 weeks, something like that, and this person was one of those people.
Yeah,
that caused some problems for us, but anyway, that was before, that was back in the day, and we tried to give it a go, and I didn't feel comfortable taking people's money if they didn't feel like they were going to get the benefit. So I refunded everyone's Patreon at the time, we just left it. But I think it's something that we will look at again in future for definite.
Like Dope said, there is a video about what happened after the fact.
Yeah.
Which is there. If you want to go check it out, feel free. But I think the one thing that unfortunately some people failed to realise.
Sorry, I just wanted to mention, because that video doesn't give a lot of context in the title, but it was just a video about when I was thinking of quitting. So if you just search for that on the channel, I'm thinking of quitting, then that'll be the video.
Yeah. Like we've mentioned, we both work full-time jobs. We both work 40 hours a week, and we at the time had your channel, which was another job in its own right. To try and then keep up with everything at that time, it was just difficult, and we just didn't have the capacity to give people what they wanted and to jump on the chat every day, or we just didn't have between us the time, and it was, if we did, we were going to get burnt out, and then we wouldn't be here. So,
and I mentioned this before, but excuse me, our priority is the content. Our priority is getting the content out. Simple as that. And anything that gets in the way of that priority, might cause problems, and I'm always going to put the channel first above anything else when it comes to our community and when it comes to what we do. So it's if we're going to do Discord again, I don't know if I'm going to do Patreon again for a long time.
Yeah.
Because again, I think I've got to be able to dedicate more time to it, and I don't know if I can. Like, it is what it is. But Discord, you know, I was talking to some other viewers and supporters of our channel about bringing back the Discord, but making it just free for everyone. Don't put it behind a Patreon anything. Just put it open or leave it open to anyone. And instead of me actively engaging in it as much as people would want to, instead is to put forward some of our biggest supporters over the years and get them to be the main instigators behind it. But even back then we were too small. There wasn't enough people that would have been on it to instigate as much discussion as there was, and then I would jump in whenever I could. You know, unfortunately I'm not one of those people that spends my life on social media. You know, I have a lot of hobbies. I do a lot of things outside of social media, as a lot of you know. You know, like Wifey said, we work full-time jobs, run a martial arts gym every week. We do this every week. It's a lot. It is an awful lot. And, you know, what can I say? There's only so much time in a day, and there are other things that I want to be doing all the time. So rather than just this, or rather than just something else, a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, I think, is the issue. But I don't know if that's something that you guys want. If you want the Discord back in you know, as I kind of suggested, running it in a way where we can have some main instigators running it really for the most part, and then I'll jump in whenever I can. Certain times a year, certain times of the month, or something like that. Maybe we can try scheduling it in. I don't know, something like that. Then maybe we'll look at doing it. We're much bigger than we were this time last year, so maybe it's more viable now. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, we've had it before, and we had the suggestion before, but yeah, I kind of knocked my confidence a little bit.
Yeah, we got burnt a little bit last
time. I don't want that happening again.
No. But yeah, go watch the video. It gives way more of an emotional reply to it, I think.
Yeah, and I don't really hold back in that video either.
No.
So I tried to hold back a little bit, but no, it's just my raw kind of emotion at the time.
Yeah. So if you want the full story, go check that one out. So Chunkus Wampus, hello, great name.
Hello, mate, good to see you.
Hi, I'm new here. Thoughts on a Grom as a first bike?
Good bike. Yeah, simple as
Short
that.
and sweet.
Simple as that. Good bike. Honda, can't go wrong. And Groms are they're fun, man. They're fun little bikes. I've never ridden one, but from what I've seen of Groms, they look fun as hell. So yeah, I would not say no to a Grom.
Yeah.
Good bike.
Urban Hunter, hello.
Hello, mate.
Hi, I love watching your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Means a lot.
Thank you, mate.
So I answered that on your behalf.
Appreciate it.
Mohammed, what mechanical checks do you recommend before blasting your bike to top speed? Mark has said brakes. Can't really argue with that, to be fair.
Yeah, first things first, brakes, definitely. Well, the brakes themselves, but also brake fluid, check the brake lines, check... and anything to do with your brakes, check them out, because that's the last thing you want is your brakes failing at 140 mile an hour or whatever bike you're on. But in terms of other kind of checks that you could do, just make sure your chain is nice and lubed, make sure that is nice and clean as well, make sure your tire pressures are good. But other than that, if you want to pin your bike, just give it a little bit of time to warm up. Let that temperature build up a little bit, get it up to operating temperature first, and then feel free to rip it. I don't like redlining my bikes, but I'm not going to hold it against anyone that does. If that's how you like to enjoy your bikes, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So Flo's actually added on, so alongside daily checks, pads, oil, tyres, rims, bead, nothing obstructing throttle, and you should be good.
Yep, absolutely. Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, so, oh dear. Mr. King of Florida, hello.
Hello, mate. Good to see you.
Came to meet new people. You've come to the right place.
You certainly have.
So Dope Style. By the way, just want to say that the current helmet you have, the Icon
Airflight. Yeah.
I don't know what helmet you have.
Yeah.
Is the helmet I got around a month ago. I find it to be brilliant visibility and airflow. But what are your thoughts?
I've never actually done a helmet review. Because, to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't had a lot of helmets over my time.
Second one that I know you've had.
I've had, throughout my entire riding career, 4 helmets.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've had 2, and I've been riding, not even pillion in half that time.
4 helmets. I mean, that one is definitely the best helmet I've had. Full stop. That Icon helmet.
And it's got the interchangeable visor, hasn't it? The clear one or the
yeah. So the one that originally comes with is a clear one, but I wanted the what's it called? The tinted one.
It does look pretty cool, to be fair.
And yeah, I really like that helmet. I think it's really comfortable. It's not so great for moto vlogging with because the visor gets in the way, but the helmet itself, I can't fault it.
Is it? Do you know what? I'm going to sound like an awful wife, like I don't pay attention to you. But is it a front flip one?
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's not.
No.
It's a full facial
face.
helmet, and it's just the visor that lifts up. It's not one of those oh god, what do they call it? Is it a semi visor? Where the whole front face lifts up off the helmet. It's not like that.
Mine is, isn't it?
Yours is. The other 2 that I've had in the past were like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done a helmet review, but I do actually have an old helmet that I could compare.
Yeah.
To be honest, like comparing a one of those helmets where the whole face lifts up, or just the visor, and do a little comparison. Thank you for that, Dope. Yeah, we'll look at doing that in the near future.
Urban Hunter, how would you go around making motorcycle riding videos? I'm thinking of going into making moto vlogs. That's something you could talk about, to be fair. Do a video on that, about how your thought process and stuffs.
Well, I mean, what context are we talking about here? Are we talking about the actual setup, the helmet setup, or are we talking about like the kind of background process of the thinking about the videos, what I'm gonna do, or what have you? In terms of equipment, I've done a few videos on my helmet setup. Just look for it on our channel, helmet setup for moto vlogging, and I think I've done 2 or 3 videos. Look at the latest one, because I literally go through everything, all the equipment that I've got, the cameras that I use, and the audio recording setup, because arguably the hardest part to get right is the audio. I don't like beating my own drum here, but the audio quality that we have on our videos is better than the vast majority of motovlogging channels out there.
You put a lot of time into that, though, didn't you?
I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on audio equipment as well, specifically for the channel. If you want the best audio equipment, the best advice that I can give you is spend more on the microphone and less on the recorder. You could spend £30, $40 on a recorder, on a dictaphone, an audio recorder, and spend £100 or $110, $120, $130, £140 on a microphone and on a lapel microphone. They are by far the best. The best microphone, the best audio quality I've ever had is from investing in a better microphone. The one that I have at the moment is a Sennheiser. I think it's an ME2. I think, but there's a very specific metric that I was concerned about, and that was the decibel limit that it's able to capture, and I think mine is 140 decibels or 130 decibels, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it can record audio at 130 decibels without clipping, and that's the worst thing, because when you got loads of wind noise going past you, that wind noise is 100 decibels, 90 to 100 decibels, easy, and then the microphone's got to pick up your voice as well, and it's got to pick it up clearly. So that's what I'd recommend for audio. And at the moment, camera equipment, we're just using GoPros, but DJI cameras, I I'm really curious about going DJI.
You've tried Insta360 as well.
Insta360, I'm not a fan necessarily. They can do some cool stuff, but the one that we've got, I invest a lot of money in it, and actually it's not as good as I was hoping it would be. But yeah, DJI cameras, I would either go for a DJI or a GoPro at this point, but I think DJI have the better value for money right now.
Yeah, cool. So Flo, question for everyone really, is OTR the final price you've paid, or do you have things tacked on after the OTR price? I agreed with a dealer on the OTR for a Z900 and don't want to get shock add-ons.
The OTR should be the full price that you pay on the road. I mean, that's what OTR means, on the road price. So that should be it. I think that also includes the first year of road tax as well. Of course, insurance, that is a tack on that you have to consider afterwards. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, if that is the price that you've agreed on the road,
should be
that is it. Yeah.
And hopefully you have like an invoice to show exactly what it was that was quoted to you as an OTR price.
Yeah, you should have got a piece of paper with the full breakdown of the costings, and and if you look at that, you shouldn't get any surprises. But by all means, if you have any questions about any of the things that have been tacked on, ask the dealer and ask what this is for, ask what that's for, and they should be able to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, Dope did say the only additional thing was delivery. But other than that, there was nothing more than the OTR. So cool. Okay, we've got a couple more comments left. So Mohammed, to be honest, your bump starting video is the first one I saw, and it helped me with my R6, which is amazing.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's quite funny actually, because my ZH2 battery died on me a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't for the life of me get it bump started. I tried so hard, but that bike is really heavy, 240 kilograms, something like that. It's really heavy, and I couldn't push it fast enough to get it going. So, and of course, there were some people that left comments on that video about, you do this on a bigger bike and it's next to impossible. You're better off using like a battery pack jump starter. And I think if you are riding anything bigger than a 600 or anything that is more than 200 kilograms, I definitely recommend a jump start pack instead of trying to bump start it. Unless you can find a hill. Push the bike towards a hill, you shouldn't have any problems bump starting any bike, but pushing it,
it's a dead weight, isn't it?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is really hard. But I'm glad that you found that helpful, mate. Thank you.
And Dope Style has let me know I was referring to modular helmets. And I was talking about if it's lifty up or not. The modular.
Yeah, modular. So, yes. Thank you. That is the word.
Yeah. Your tongue, wasn't it? But that's really everything. That's all the questions. That's the comments as well. So that was such a good, engaging chat. So thank you so much for everyone who left a comment, and thank you for everyone who's joined us today. Really.
Yeah, this is what it's alright. It's just gone on battery saver mode. That's all. That's why the screen's got a bit dimmer. But hang on. Yeah, sorry. This is what the live shows were for originally, was to get engagement from the viewers and and have an opportunity to actually speak to people directly rather than through comments or something like that. Because we all know I'm not the best person in the world at replying to comments. All right, yeah, I know, but this is why I like doing the live shows. But like I said, they are difficult. They're difficult to do. So if we are going to continue doing live shows, we might have to time box it to maybe once a fortnight, once a month, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I literally finished work and then sat here.
Yeah.
So I've not even stopped in between. I mean, they take a lot of prep. Not that we don't enjoy doing them, because I do, but they do take a lot of prep, and they're a lot, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely, obviously, you guys coming to watch us and talk to us, and that bit's amazing. It's just there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to get it to the point of us being able to enjoy chatting to you guys.
Yeah, 100%. I hope the live stream's been okay today, because we've got a bit of an ad hoc setup today.
Yeah.
I mean, this laptop is the one that we used to use for the live shows, so everything should be exactly the same as it was, but hopefully everything turns out okay. I'm looking forward to watching this back a little bit later on and seeing if it's actually all right, but we'll have to wait and see on that front, I suppose. But right, we've got a few more questions. We'll answer these just before we sign off. So let's have a look here.
So Mark has said the ZZR 1400 with a flat battery is a pain. You can't jump it unless you remove fairings. FFS.
Yep.
Mohammed,
I've not had to bump start a ZZR yet. I'm not looking forward to doing that.
in a few days, when Goblin has to bump start it, I'll be putting something on the Goblin Rides YouTube saying he ate out eating his own words, because you've now just jinxed yourself. You're going to have to do it.
To be fair, I hadn't started up the ZZR in a good 3 weeks. And with the lithium battery that's in it, since I've disconnected all the alarms and everything, didn't have a problem starting up.
Yeah, wow.
Didn't have a problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I think if you want a better... if you don't want to have to worry about having to bump start a bike, I would recommend upgrading to a lithium battery. They're not actually as expensive as you might think either. So just... keep that in mind, and they're so much lighter as well. So it is a worthwhile investment, I think, a lithium battery.
Yeah. Mohammed said, is bump starting damaging, or really does it make a difference?
Technically speaking, no. There shouldn't be any problem bump starting any motorcycle. However, I have seen comments on the video that we did about bump starting your bike that people have said apparently they did it on an R6 and now they're getting like lights show up on the dashboard, like DFI lights and things like that. And I'm thinking, from bump starting? Are you kidding me? You if there's anything, you should be able to bump start. It should be a motorcycle without any problems. So my honest answer is I don't know. Mechanically, there's nothing wrong with bump starting any motorcycle mechanically. It's just some are harder than others. The lighter the motorcycle is, the easier it's going to be. But there shouldn't be any problems doing it. If there is, take it down to a dealership, not a mechanic. Take it down to a dealership, a named dealer of the brand of motorcycle that you have, and just try and get them to clear the codes. If they clear the codes, you shouldn't have any problems after that.
In our experience, what we found... Was it this year or last year?
On your bike?
Yeah, just because there's a error message, so to speak, doesn't mean that there's actually... The issue could have resolved itself, but it just hasn't cleared the code.
Yeah, that was another thing entirely, is the bike might be tripping a code, so you might get a light on the dashboard, but actually the code is already gone. The computer's already erased the code, but it's... So for some reason the light hasn't gone on the dashboard. That's something that we experienced with the Wi-Fi's Ninja 125, and that's why I recommend just getting the codes cleared. They shouldn't charge you anything either for clearing codes.
It minutes, doesn't it?
Takes 2 minutes to clear codes. All right, so they shouldn't charge you anything for that either. What else we got?
So I've got a dog in my face. Flo has asked, have you any plans doing advanced riding videos, tutorials such as moving onto much more powerful bikes and some advanced techniques? You've done videos about bigger bikes, I think, or a live show or something.
Yeah, we've done quite a few on progressing to bigger motorcycles and what you need to consider when you're going up to a bigger motorcycle, what things you need to watch out for. But for the most part, if you know how to ride a 125cc motorcycle or a smaller bike, you shouldn't have any problems getting on a bigger one. All you've got to do is just take it easy. Just take it easy for the first 500 miles or so. Get used to the weight and the feel of the bike, the power of the bike. But don't pin it. Simple as that. Don't pin the throttle 100%. Just take it nice and easy and you will be absolutely fine. All bikes ride exactly the same. The only difference is they might be a little bit bigger with a little bit more horsepower and a bit more torque. That is it. All right. And arguably, riding bigger bikes is better. They have much thicker tire profiles, so you get more grip going into corners. Arguably, a lot of the time, getting on bigger bikes is a significantly better and safer experience anyway. So, honestly, don't worry about it for the most part. Just do what you know. And you'll be fine. Just be careful, and you'll be all right.
Slight side note: the dog looks like a right chunk in this video.
Oh yeah, he does.
He looks really chunky. Dope Style, I've waited so long for another live show. I'm thoroughly satisfied, and we'll be going back into social hibernation until you're back.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I'm glad. I'm glad that that today's show is being good despite our issues previously.
Flo, my first live show, but it was great. Would be a great fortnightly thing to do.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I'm glad. We'll try our best to make them more of a regular thing again. And I think now we can. I think we have the opportunity to do it.
No, 100%. I think it's just Mark and Dove start flirting with each other. So we'll leave them to it in the comments.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really sorry that we started late. We were live for 15 minutes didn't even realise.
Let's rephrase that. We're sorry we started without you and then had to come back and let you guys in. So sorry about that.
We literally shot 15 minutes live.
We were in full flow.
We weren't live. So.
And then I suddenly thought, wait, that's just waiting. That's not viewers. So minor hiccup.
So thank you for being patient with us. And we're glad that we're able to answer some questions and we're able to help you guys a little bit more person to person, eye to eye kind of thing, so to speak. But I've had fun, wifey. Have you had fun this one?
Yeah, I really have.
It's
been nice to be back.
It's been good
and see like some old faces and new faces as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great to see all of you lot again. And I can't thank you all enough. All right.
It's been such a lovely present back at us for you guys to be here and chat with us. And, we've spent 2 hours with you guys now, which is just amazing. Dove said this is a present to him. Well, this is actually a present to us as well. So thank you massively.
Oh, honestly, everything that has happened this year, just from the bottom of our hearts, just thank you ever so much.
Yeah. This wouldn't be possible without you guys supporting us.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is, like, in some respects we are growing faster than I expected, but in other respects I'm thinking, well, where could we have been this year? So it's really difficult to kind of work that out in your mind, what your goals are compared to actually what the reality is. But none of it would be possible without you. We wouldn't be having this discussion if it wasn't for you guys. All right. So just honestly, massive thank you, and massive thank you for all of your suggestions, all your ideas, all your support, and it's just really heartwarming and really encouraging. And I think we need that sometimes, because it's been a difficult year this year in a lot of ways. Not necessarily around the channel, but other things that have been going on. And having you guys just being kind of in our corner really helps.
Yeah, no, it does.
So, anyway, everyone, we will leave you here. We're going to get a takeaway curry, because we've been on a diet for the last 2 months. And today is the day where we get to...
We're breaking it.
We're having a break from our diets and just enjoying Christmas now. So.
Yeah. I mean, that... Yes. Yeah. We will not be filming that because it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
But no, as always, ride safe. Have a great Christmas, whatever you guys get up to. And we look forward to chatting with you all again in the new year. 100%. Keep an eye out, obviously, for you'll be releasing videos, and I think my first video is going to be some sort of eating challenge with us again. So keep an eye on that.
Just a reminder that tonight is our last video for the year, and hopefully we'll be back from January 3rd. It might be January 5th, depending on what goes on. But I've already got some content shot, so it should be a case of just editing it, and we should be good to go in full swing in the new year. So we look forward to seeing you there. As the wifey said, have a very Merry Christmas and have a wonderful new year. Thanks again. Take care.